You know what? I ain't even gonna say nothing. It is Chris's day. This is Chris's moment. He has been waiting for this for years, and I am happy for my friend. I have secondhand excitement. I got his message. I was up early. I was like, "Ooh, I gotta be on time. I know he's going to see his helper tonight."
Yes. Greetings from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Tonight is the night the Renaissance tour kicks off in North America. I'm ready. I am so ready. I am full. I went out last night, so I'm a little hungover right now, but look, I went to the flagship store yesterday. It was an experience. I got to see all the looks she did in Vogue that was named after the songs. But yeah, it's been a meaty week, a very meaty week.
It has. So let's start with Kiki. Kiki, can you hear me? We thought you were in a great, happy relationship and you ended up pregnant by a dud. But the good thing is you can just cut his phone off. You can pay the 175 cancellation fee for it because we know you had him on the freeloading plan. I mean the family plan.
And he was such a fine gentleman, too.
The finer they are, the dumber they fall.
Yeah, in some cases, it all started with the Usher concert, like the one I went to in Vegas. It's a really good show, y'all. Please check it out because Usher, he's doing the damn thing. And he serenaded Kiki. Like, I think he was like hugging her a bit. It was cute. She did a little turnaround, like the ass was assing, and that was it. But he was insecure.
I mean, her body is part of her business. Like she's an actress who just had a baby. So she's celebrating her snapback and you about to mess up the house's money. And this didn't just start with an Usher concert. It started with an Usher concert he couldn't afford tickets to. You see, her section would have been too high. He wasn't even there, which is why he was tweeting from home.
I think when these men, like they're with successful women, they still want to like place their territory in other ways and trying to control them just for the simple regard that he has a penis. The patriarchy of it all.
And it's so sad because all these women do is want to love you and take care of you, and you're messing that up. They are giving you an easy ride through life. They're like, you know what? It doesn't matter if he doesn't have as much. I still love him. And you can't get it through your thick head.
So then, like, at first, a lot of people thought he was just kidding, but then he wrote, "You a mom" or something, chill. What does that mean?
How did she become a mother? And guess how she's going to become a mother again? Outfits like that. It just doesn't make sense. The Madonna complex they will put on a woman who's just had a child, like she ain't gonna have no more. And then I feel like, why would you care? The lid's already been popped off the cookie jar. Let her shake her shimmy in peace.
So he doubled down, and this was the tweet where everyone jumped down his throat. Like he ran off of Twitter, deleted his account. He wrote, "We live in a generation where a man of the family doesn't want the wife and mother to his kids to showcase booty cheeks to please others. And he gets told how much of a hater he is. This is my family and my representation. I have standards and morals to what I believe. I rest my case."
Yeah, you resting all right. You're going to be resting in irrelevance. I mean, no one ever knew who you were or why you were. You really have just been a designer donor as it is. But now we see you've got, inferior intelligence.
So he's related to you watch Insecure. Remember the really tall guy that was with Molly? He looked a little bit like he was light skinned, real tall. Remember I say he looked like one of the Monstars from Space Jam?
Oh my God.
I forgot his name, Sarunas Jackson.
Oh, that one. Oh, yeah.
That's his brother. And people were coming for him. He was like, now why am I in it?
You're your brother's keeper.
Yeah, like people were messaging him like make room in the guest bedroom.
Mm-hmm. I mean, why is it so difficult for men to simply support their woman? If she wants to wear the dress, she wears the dress.
So since then, after he deactivated his account, he came back on Twitter. I think he started doubling down again. And then Kiki hasn't really said anything. She then came out with these I'm a mom shirts. And allegedly, he's wiped anything about Kiki off of his social media on his Instagram. And I think they don't follow each other. Can you believe this is all from an Usher concert? An Usher concert.
Well, I think that she had been cut his allowance and there was bound to be an outburst when you're just slapped in the face with poverty. He was probably tweeting that from the guest bedroom because he wasn't at the Usher concert. And why wouldn't you be at an Usher concert with the mother of your child?
Well, she was like, looked like she was having a girls' night or something.
Oh, okay.
But look, some men are just made to be donors. Shout out to Kenya Moore.
And speaking of commenting on women's looks, India Irie, I don't
Oh,
know where she's been, but she came out against Meg Thee Stallion and Janelle Monáe, and they've just been minding their Black business and they perform and I don't know why we can't celebrate them, but she's upset with how they're appearing these days and the over-sexualization of Black women. Is it over-sexualization because white women been making a good coin off it for a minute? Look at Madonna.
yes.
Also, it's a human body that we all came out at. I don't see what the big deal is. If you want to wear pasties and a bodysuit and be all sparkly on stage, go for it and look amazing. And also, she was on beat. The raps are good. You can't say anything about the talent, and your album sure ain't selling, but you're worried about their wardrobe department. Why don't you talk to some stylists? Why don't you come out with some coverall outfits that are so fashionable for these girls to wear since you have so much mouth full of critique?
Well, what had happened was this was around Essence Music Weekend. It was Meg Thee Stallion's set. I think she closed out Essence with her performance. So then she had like a hot girl boot camp on stage, and Janelle was kind of like facilitating it, and it was a lot of twerking, booty shaking, asses clapping. Fine, everyone's having a good time. So India Ari, she jumped in the comments with an opinion of her own. She wrote, the issue is, what is context in all caps? Humanity does everything, but does everything belong in a stage? No. Is everything for kids? No. Is everything for everybody? No. So when we as a culture make something like this mainstream, it shows a lack of discretion and discernment. To those in the comments who laugh at anyone who wants these things for our culture, you certainly have that right. You could have just sat down and ate your food and not even comment on it. I mean, you could have just told your homegirls, like, girl, look what they're doing on stage. You know, this ain't like it was in my day. Something like that. But you had to go online and do it. So many people was like, who the fuck cares what India Ari thinks? I've seen so many tweets that said that.
Also, can we stop saying twerking is over-sexualization? What respectability politics said that? We can only be dancing like the Germans with the that kick dance stand dance.
Or ballroom dancing.
Is that all we can do? Oh my goodness. And ass shook, film at 11. That's really just shaming the shape of the Black female body, if you ask me, but nobody did, because I ain't commenting on you.
What did you expect at a Meg Thee Stallion set? What did you expect?
You know, you're right. You should have left. Oh, Meg Thee Stallion's coming on. I'm going to go on to the macaroni and cheese bar. I'll see y'all later. Because I would have been at the macaroni and cheese bar for any artist I didn't want to hear, like Janet Jackson. When she performed there last year, I would have been eating. So I wouldn't have commented on it. Because all I would have done was complain about a performance I couldn't hear. So I would have taken myself and enjoyed some food. There were other stages and other performances going on. You could have watched your own music video, India. You could have watched your own I Am Not My Hair.
Speaking of Janet Jackson, since you brought her up, her tour just ended, and I think it was one of her most successful tours. Like, she got about 50 million off of it.
Good for her. I am so glad that she got out here and gave us the smoking in here. Now that was funny. Also, she is one of the last old guard that can still get out here and complete a tour. Poor Madonna.
Oh, yes. We got a Madonna update, and the tea is scorching. I want to start off by saying this is allegedly, and I think we called it last week. Did you hear what happened?
I did that. A little can of Nar had to keep Madonna
Yeah,
from locking the
the,
tar.
a can of Nar. That's what I'm calling it. The can of Nar. That's how she was revived. And I'm like, you need a can of Nar for sepsis?
I've never heard of it being used for anything other than cocaine and bad cocaine at Fent. I've only heard of the can of Nar being used for Fent. You can't say the whole world. Fenty. Fenty. And not the kind you get online.
So this is the story. Madonna was allegedly revived with the can of Nar before she was admitted to the ICU last month. They're letting us know what the can of Nar is. It's used commonly to reverse the life-threatening effects of a suspected overdose, but it is also used to reverse acute septic shock in patients, a condition Madonna is said to have suffered.
Oh, okay. Well, good. Then that's normal. Not good. I mean, we want the heifer to heal, but we just didn't want her to be dealing with substance abuse at a time like this. Because I'm also like, now, how did Madonna get some bad stuff? I would imagine if you're Madonna and you're doing that, you've got the best of the best. You're not getting poisoned.
I mean, Michael Jackson had the best of the best, and look what happened.
Well, that's when you have too much.
Yeah. They said Madonna had pushed herself so hard to get ready for her 84-date world tour that she had relied upon painkillers to survive, sources said. Allegedly, allegedly, allegedly.
You know, it's interesting because it's like they're giving you enough pieces in the story to make you think substance abuse. They're putting it out there to make you think that. Now, we ain't saying it, but we're noticing how the wording in these stories are. But we're not saying it. I don't think that's what it is. I think she just needs to sit that old ass down before that chicken goes rancid.
I don't know. Last week I was like Madonna is actually the last of the greats because, rest in peace to Whitney, to Michael, to Prince. Like Madonna, I think is the only one left from that category. Like that is the star, like from the 80s.
Well, Janet,
Well, Janet's like significantly younger. Janet's still in her 50s. You would put her in the same category?
I would, you know what it is? Because Janet was so young when she started that they had music out consistently around the same time. So because Janet started, like, when did her first album come out? 15, 16. We got a hit or two from that. So yeah, I would put them in the same category as far as length of career.
But yeah, thankfully we didn't get that headline about Madonna. That would just be awful.
It would.
Especially when you're about to go on tour, like right before.
I feel bad about the sepsis. I wouldn't want poison in my blood. It sounds uncomfortable, but I can hardly handle a hangnail.
And the tour is postponed. I wanted to go to this one since it's going to be her last one, clearly. I didn't mean it to come out like that.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. When I moved out here, I was not sure I made the right decision, and some days I'm still not. And when you're faced with tough choices and your path forward is unclear, BetterHelp can help you navigate life with new tools that help you trust the decisions that you make and suss out your real feelings about them. I know it's definitely helped me when I moved out here and other choices in my life. It was really easy to find a therapist. I went to betterhelp.com and filled out the survey, and was able to get connected with the therapist that specialized in what I needed. They got to me within 24 hours, and you can switch therapists anytime for no charge.
So if y'all thinking about starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online and it's meant to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. So let therapy be your map with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/roast today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/roast. So continuing in music, Coi Leray, do you know who she is?
No, but I've always wanted a koi pond.
Coi Leray, that's Benzino's daughter.
No, Benzino's daughter is a kids' meal four-piece.
Oh goodness. Anyway, Coi Leray, her album, because girls is players too. That song.
That's who sings that.
I'm gonna catch another flight. Apple bottom make them wanna bite.
I like that song. I did not know Poultry could play the piano, much less produce.
Well, her album came out and it sold 10,000 copies in a week. It came in at number 102 on Billboard's Hot 200 chart.
At least she made that. I mean, whenever you're attached to Benzino, something's gonna tank. And two, that was a song that was hot like a year ago, a year and a half ago. I was listening to that. So that's when the album should have come out. You waited too long.
Also, with TikTok artists coming out with these microwave bops, like that doesn't always translate to album sales. Like they don't want to hear your entire body of work. They just want to hear that one song.
And these songs are also like 2 minutes and 32 seconds. I mean, they're interludes with an attitude. It's not, I'm not going to say it's not music, but it's not enough to get us to buy an album when the album's going to be over in 8 minutes, like your career.
Interludes with an attitude. Okay.
I mean, Janet would give you an interlude that would burgeon on 2 minutes. All they're doing is sashaying for another 34 seconds.
Speaking of the kids today, what is wrong with y'all? Like going to concerts and throwing shit at celebrities. There's been more instances of this. So it happened at Drake's show recently because he just started going on tour. They threw a phone on stage. Like it came up to like his stomach, but why are you throwing your phone on stage?
And not his stomach. That's just gotten done. That would really hurt. He'll burst a seam.
Yeah, it just brushed past like his hand and like his stomach area. And he just looked at it and kept performing because, Drake's a professional. But I definitely would have sent my goons in the audience.
I mean, they threw it right at his tummy tuck. I couldn't. That is foul. Foul.
And last, Lil Nas X got something thrown at him on stage. It was a vagina replica. It was a sex toy someone threw on stage. He picked it up too. It was like, whose pussy is this?
I mean, I'm sure that was at least soft where it wouldn't have hurt.
It didn't look soft. It looked like some type of toy. I don't know what a vagina looks like, but it was some type of structure. with a hole on the end of it, I guess.
I imagine it would be fleshy enough where it wouldn't hurt. I've heard that's their thing. But
could you imagine like you're performing and you get hit with a sex toy?
Oh my goodness. I mean, my question is, was it used or did you go get a mold of yourself to give this to me?
I didn't even think of that. Was it used?
Did you run it through the dishwasher first?
People really do that, huh? Like put sex toys in the dishwasher?
Yep.
Well, they don't put it with other dishes.
You never know because I don't eat at everybody's house.
You just never know.
You never know. That is the model for the 2020s. You never know. You never know.
In other news, Britney Spears was slapped. I could not believe this. Really? I felt so bad for Britney. Like, can Britney not have a fan out moment?
As Britney Spears, you know how dangerous it is to have those fan out moments. I feel like she should have known better, her being her. You have people like that come to your private audience. But no, I don't think she should have been slapped. But that's what happened. They didn't know she was Britney Spears, and she just got treated like a regular gold digger.
Right. And they caught it all on camera. Look, it was two different stories. Basically, Britney was at some restaurant. I think it was in LA. It was this new basketball player. What's his name? Wembanyama. He's 7'3". He's this new prodigy, and there hasn't been this much excitement for somebody entering the NBA since LeBron James. That's how big he is. I'm guessing Britney ran up to him. I think she had her security with her as well. She just ran up to tap him on the shoulder, and the security guard like flung her hand away, and it kind of looked like he backhanded her, and her glasses fell off too. She did say in her statement that she almost fell to the ground as well. You know, she had to put some seasoning on it. Did they just not know it was Britney Spears? I don't know. It was just the whole thing, Britney Spears being touched.
Also, if you're security, why aren't you running interference more like a linebacker? Instead of hitting her, she shouldn't have gotten that close. Your big butt should have been in front of him. Security should be de-escalating.
It says, per TMZ, Britney composed herself and went to her table. We're told the security guy came over to the table and apologized. And he said, you understand how it is when you're being swarmed by fans. He apologized and Britney accepted it. But later, though, she apparently filed a police report claiming assault in the confrontation. Apparently, there was no charges being brought to the security guard. I don't know. I think he should be fired or whatever. But look, some people are looking at the optics of it. A white woman coming after this black man. So I don't know. Like, I'm on Britney's side. Like, it's fucking Britney Spears.
I feel like you shouldn't be pawing on anybody. And Britney, you should know better.
Well, the player, that's the thing. He said that Britney grabbed him. He felt somebody grab him. And I was like, no, no, no. She did not like run over him and just grab him by the waist. That's what I'm thinking. Like Britney was just some crazed person. She just was like trying to scoot up because you know Britney, like she is a blonde at heart. She was probably just excited and went to tap him. And security backhanded her.
This just reminds me of the annoying bachelorette parties at gay bars and how over touchy they can be. And I'm like, oh, somebody told you no, very affirmatively.
I think what really gets celebrities and people in that stratosphere is being told no. Like, really? My access doesn't work here? I'm not getting my way? So I'm pretty sure she felt some kind of way like after the fact. And that's why she pressed charges against the guy. Like, you're not going to get away with this.
Yep. That's kind of what I see.
Could you imagine just the life of having security though? Like you can't go anywhere without security.
No, I want to be like a nice D-list level celebrity where I might get recognized in the grocery store, but I can still get a deal on cheese.
And I hate to bring up your favorite girl, but this happened a few years ago when I used to work at Zuma and Janet came in. So basically her security guard, she had one sitting on one side and another one sitting at another table. They're looking at Janet right now. She was on a double date with Missy. Like this is when she was with the billionaire.
Oh, what did he look like in real life?
He was cute. He was fine. And then Missy had a little boo thing too with blue hair. You know Missy be pulling them too.
Oh, yes, I've heard.
Eva, allegedly. Trina, allegedly. Tweet, allegedly.
And speaking of lesbonics, this leads me into, I think, our slew of next stories, really our next half hour. It's also intertwined with lesbonics. We have Drew being accused of lesbonics in the trailer. Then we have Kyle and Mauricio separating publicly. And then she's running around, you know, giving us late in life lesbonics. So I just want to say, I was right. And I've been right. A lot of these girls, I'm not just getting lesbonics for the hell of it. I'm not just saying it to say it. It's true. And it's been right under our noses. And if I've been right about others, I'm right about these.
Well, let's get to the big headline of the week. Kyle and Mauricio separated by people, and they did the same thing with the Monique article. They came out and denied it. The thing is, people said they were getting separated. Kyle and Mauricio were just saying, we're not getting a divorce.
And people's like, that's why we didn't say divorce. We said separated. I could see Kyle and Mauricio staying married because they're family and the money. But I think they've been living separate lives. And in Kyle's case, it looks like a separate lesbian life. And good for her.
I know, but like people deserve to be happy. They were together 27 years.
And after 27 years of the same dick, I'd want a break too.
I was surprised because Kyle is just, we've seen her. I mean, you've watched Beverly Hills since season 1, right?
Yes.
Like, you've seen how she is with Mauricio. And when that lady was like kind of touching on him at the white party, she almost broke that lady's hand. I think she prides herself on being a mother and a wife.
Well, I think that now that the kids are starting to be grown, she's like, oh, what am I going to do? And I think now that he's all about his real estate, she's like, I don't want to look up in his face all afternoon. I need something to do with myself, and I have my own star.
And you know who said when the kids are grown, like you guys are going to drift further apart? The psychic.
Alison Dubois. And what was my favorite show and has been for years? Medium, the show based on her ass.
She's still a kook. Like, a broken clock is right twice a day.
You never know. It's 2020. You never know.
She also brought up, if you go back and watch that episode, I also did a rewind of that episode too, a rewind review. It's up on my channel, C Biggie One, by the way. But she also said you get along more with females or something. She said something along the lines of that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like go back and look at it. Like, because they were going back and forth. Like Kyle said she wanted a reading.
Well, this also continues the Bravo tradition of having some correct psychics. Because remember, Kim's psychic said she was going to get married. Then we had the African psychic tell Candy that she was going to get married. So them Bravo psychics be knowing sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, then Sheree ain't never getting married. Oh, that man said she would never have anyone, that she was empty. That's what he said. I'm just repeating it. That's what he said.
We shouldn't be laughing at that. Also, someone put a clip online of when, you know, they were all chastising Kyle and Teddy for being so close. And Erica was like, darling, the relationship is strange. It's strange. Remember that? They were in the pink suits?
Yes.
And they put a side-by-side of Kyle's, the woman that she's been canoodling with, and Teddy, and they look very similar. So Kyle has a type.
Oh, and Teddy refused to talk about it on her Two T's and a Pod podcast. She said she would not be addressing it at all.
Wow.
Well, you know, the secrets of the Sapphic sisterhood will stay secrets of the sisters scissoring in a circle.
And I think, you know, now that, you know, Mauricio is separated, watch, I bet you PK and Dorita next. And what happened if Dorita's with Mauricio? Because you heard those rumors.
I could see Dorit going after Mauricio. I could see Mauricio getting with Dorit. I don't know.
That's two Vanderpump Rules when you think about it.
Well, although it's very California when you think about it.
But this is really up the ante for the next season of Beverly Hills now. It's going to be must watch.
I'm happy at least these franchises are doing well, because the trailer for Housewives of Atlanta.
Yes. The mid-season trailer debuted yesterday, and Drew just isn't a big enough deal for me to care. Like, I don't care if she's scissoring in a circle with another sister, you know?
I will say at least Marlo Amos said, oh, I recorded it.
I just don't like how they keep, lesbian relationship. Like they do that so much on Atlanta.
Well, it's because if you just live out loud, that's the thing. Like Candy, she said, I've had sex with women. We don't bug out over it anymore. It's just you've got to own it. You've got to fess. That's what we want. We just want you to say it. Just admit it. And then we're like, oh, we can relate.
Yeah, I just wasn't excited at all. I'm trying to think. Kenya's talking about having another baby for what? About
Oh God. I had the same look Candy did. I mean, I can get her wanting another baby, like use the embryo, use the surrogate, but your doctor said no, so I'm gonna go with your doctor. If your doctor said don't do it, I don't want you to do it because I want to see you on next season. I enjoy cussing you out, and I would miss you terribly. We love Kenya and we want to be happy. And then Sanya is pregnant.
Okay.
I want to know who gonna watch that baby. And is that gonna be your plot line?
You know it is.
Oh
I
God.
forgot she was pregnant currently.
Ooh, like Sutton said, oh, she's pregnant.
And who else? Like Marlo, no plot line. Sheree, I think, gets embarrassed again.
Well, it's Martell. That's the definition of trifling. That's the definition of embarrassing. I mean, I don't know why you'd want to play Nookie with the narcissist, but you go ahead. But Sheree loves a what? A poor choice, a bad decision, and to fall down the stairs of life. I don't know how her knees are still so smooth because she be hitting them stairs on the way down.
I mean, I'll still be watching. I mean, this Sunday is the episode where Kim and Lisa and Deshaun come back. So it'll be something to look at.
I didn't know we were having a gathering of the irrelevance. And another, an old-timey lesbian for promo, Kim has now called off her divorce from Croy.
I mean, I think they realized that divorce costs money. They both can't afford lawyers. I don't think it was all fake. Do you think it was just all fake? I don't think so.
I do.
I think he just thought it's cheaper to keep her. Like they don't have any money. And I think they're going to try to play ball together to both be on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Because you notice, like, this is all before her episode on Bravo on Sunday. This is all happening before that episode.
Another Sutton Strat quote. They spent the money.
They
spent it. And so now they're stuck together as the Von Trapp family out here performing for shekels.
I don't give a fuck about that clan of Kim and Croy.
Well, Grand Dragon and her wigs can go down the drain, but if they're gonna put her on Atlanta, I feel like Nene should come back then. If they're gonna put her on, let Nene come back. But we know Nene ain't coming back.
And speaking of that, she called TMZ to talk to them, and they were walking with her as she was saying that, oh yeah, I would come back, for the fans. You have no choice in the situation.
I couldn't imagine, and not thinking that the show would keep rolling along. Like, I couldn't imagine losing that kind of a gig.
I get them asking her about Kim and Croy getting divorced or whatever. She answered that, but why do we keep asking this woman, is she coming back to Real Housewives of Atlanta like she has a say in the matter? Bravo don't want nothing to do with her. So does Andy Cohen. So does NBC Universal. Like, she burned that bridge. It will never happen. We've seen impossible things happen. Like Samantha Jones is coming back to Sex and the City. So maybe, but I just can't see it. It's not in the cards for Nene. So I just want people to stop asking her because it's getting on my nerves.
I mean, when Andy Cohen says the door is closed and he's the one that opened the door, he's the one that runs the door, he's the one that kind of built the door. It's closed and it's shut tight, but they will keep asking for clickbait because they can say, we asked Nene, is she coming back? And Nene will beg because she ain't got nothing else to do. She is sitting around like the girls in Death Becomes Her. And it's like, well, what do we do now? Go on BET?
It's a check.
I mean, it's a check, but is it as much fun, especially a one season one off? Like you've been with those girls for 10 years. There's got to be some fun and camaraderie there.
But people forget that when she was on the last few seasons, she didn't want to be there.
Yeah, her bad behavior consistently just got her off. She should have been put on pause way back when.
And you brought up Andy, saying the door is closed. I think he is just as petty as Candy. Like how Phaedra, a lie could have changed her reality. Like basically what Nene did could have changed Andy's reality. Like you said this man was racist. You said he was a cokehead. Like you could have got him like cancer from the network and everything. So I'm sure he don't play behind that just like Candy. So it's just like, no, you don't get to come back on this platform anymore.
I wonder if they'll have Monique back though.
Oh, because they're officially like divorced. We already talked about that, right? Like they're officially divorced. Yeah, and she gave a little bit of update on how she's doing and stuff. But a lot of people are on Chris's side. I don't know. Monique must have cut up on Carlos King's show to have so much like backlash against her.
People just feel like she's complaining about nothing, and she has this man who is more than willing to spend whatever money she needs for help, and he's meeting her halfway. I mean, he's doing what so many men aren't. I mean, he goes beyond the bare minimum. So I feel like people look at Monique as spoiled and like she's asking for too much. I look at her like, I don't think you know what you wanted, and having kids is irritating.
I don't think she's pressed and bothered at all. Like she has 3 kids by this man. She's going to keep one of those 4 homes. She's going to get child support out the wazoo. It seemed like Chris is a great father. He's going to make sure his kids are good. And I'm sure Chris is going to get another girl, I would say by the end of the year.
Oh, yeah.
He is a prime bachelor. And it sucks, but look, he in the gym, he got significantly smaller. He is not big boy anymore. He got money. So it's like, it's always easier for the man.
It depends. I mean, you'd still have to deal with that triceratops of a mother.
She does look like a triceratops.
Yes.
Oh, but we have one more topic concerning housewives. Real Housewives of New Jersey, the entire cast has been confirmed to come back for next season.
I'm not surprised because this was kind of a cliffhanger, and I think they want to push Teresa to do something to Melissa. And now that they're truly not speaking, and Melissa might start going for the jugular rather than always trying to play nice, we could get some more good television out of Teresa, because Teresa is her most interesting when she leans into the hateful troglodyte that she is.
I'm not sure if I have the bandwidth for them to go at it again and again and again. Like, let's just fight. Like, put them in a ring together for them to beat the shit out of each other.
I'd love to see a Monique moment. Or maybe Teresa will catch a heart attack screaming at her. I could see Teresa just keeling over, or one of her eyes kind of exploding, like popping a blood vessel because she's just so angry she can't sleep with her brother because he married Melissa.
I think Melissa really saved her job, and producers was caught between a rock and a hard place because Melissa hasn't been on the fire like that for years. Like they were expecting her to roll over to Teresa at the reunion, maybe give it like, oh, you can have this. But when she came on, she was like, oh, I'm here to stay. Where are you going? So yeah, I guess they both had to be there. I didn't want Teresa there, but Bravo knows that this is still Teresa's show. And I wouldn't have thought it would be fair if Melissa got booted off.
I think so too. And also, without Melissa, Teresa isn't interesting.
That's true.
With Melissa, I honestly feel like Melissa could do fine without Teresa on the show. I feel like we need to see Teresa have someone to hate like that. Margaret will embarrass her. Margaret knows too much about everybody. And I think Margaret will never hire a private investigator because Margaret doesn't need to, because she just knows people that'll tell you business. Margaret is the Fulton County of New Jersey.
So they start filming in August. So we shall see. A scandal is coming. I know it. Like, mark my word, I'm going to call it here first.
They're keeping her because of Louis. They want to see Louis get investigated. Somebody's already called the IRS and the feds.
She's going to be in hot water again, and Melissa's going to get the final tee-hee-hee. That's my prediction. But yeah, we'll see.
You know what? Wouldn't it be funny if somebody at Bravo was the reason that Teresa and Joe went to jail and it wasn't Melissa at all? Who would have more to gain other than Bravo?
Right. Let's see. I mean, we had so many divorces, divorce news, marriage issue news this week. Like Ricky Martin broke up.
I know Ricky Martin is on the market.
Billy Porter is now on the market now.
Yeah, that too. I mean,
he was also with his partner for 6 years as well. Marriage, I don't know. I don't think I need to be married these days. I think marriage is just becoming more irrelevant. Just live together. It's been a year of divorce and separation.
It has. I do worry about, people trying to run those pockets, but also when someone drops dead inconveniently, there's nothing like widow money. And also then the family has no claim because, the family will try to put you out. I ain't going to court to fight you. I'm like, look, I'm already digging one grave. You want to go in the ground too?
Speaking of in the grave, it looks like Twitter is headed for the grave because Threads is really that girl right now.
No, I've heard about Threads, but it apparently links to your Instagram and then you have it forever.
Allegedly. I feel they can fix that. They said you can delete a bunch of threads, or I'm not sure really. Like, somebody wants to enlighten us in the comments, please feel free. I just connected it. I mean, I'm a content creator. I need to market myself on all platforms. And it was just so seamless. Like, I don't want to support Twitter. It all started with Twitter putting a cap on like how many tweets you saw. And I think that's what really pushed people. Now, I'm sure all y'all got y'all Spill invites, but Spill, you in danger, girl. Because Threads came out swinging. Like, it was so seamless. You can keep your following. You can also keep your same bio or whatever. People can find you. And there's an automatic feature that allows you to just follow everyone you're following on Instagram. So when they get the threads, you'll automatically follow them.
Okay, I guess I'm gonna get it. I didn't really know what it was.
Yeah, it's basically the Twitter equivalent, and Twitter is shaking right now because they just sent Mark Zuckerberg a cease and desist.
You can't stop people from going to another app. And Twitter, you just nosedived into the ground. Then you set your pieces on fire. Then you salted the earth where the crash was. I mean, what do you think is going to happen?
Yeah, I just feel bad for Spill because it felt like it was a spot for POCs. And you know how Black Twitter, they pushed the needle anyway. But Android users couldn't get on. It was taking a long time. Right, exactly.
I don't know. See, those two things don't make no sense. How are you going to be for Black Twitter and have no Androids?
So yeah, I haven't been on Spill in a minute, but Threads is taking over. They got at least 15 million people added on there in 24 hours. It gives a Twitter feel back when Twitter first started, because everyone's starting from the bottom now. Like, everyone started with 0 followers. So you have the popular people trying to engage more because trying to get their follower counts up.
Okay. Well, I'll play around on threads today. I think I'm going to be snarky all day while I catch up on my videos. But I said I'm going to take this week off since Housewives of Atlanta wasn't coming on and there was no Martha's Vineyard, although it did get dry by the end.
It did get dry.
And they apparently didn't feel they were worth a reunion, but hopefully next season.
I think they're going to get another season.
I think they will too.
I feel like I have to start getting ready for my Beyonce experience. I feel like we've covered enough, right?
Go to your show. Go to your
Uh,
show. Have all the fun. Take all the pictures. Enjoy all the music that she wrote.
You know what? I didn't need that from you. Whatever. Anyway, uh, I'm out, y'all. I will see you next week. I will report to you the Beyonce concert, especially on my Patreon as well. If y'all want to follow me, it is patreon.com/cdiggy1. Just throwing that out there. But yes, I will see y'all sooner than we see a successful marriage in the news.
I'll see you sooner than Kim Zolciak sees a positive bank balance.
Bye.